everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Katie Smith. I'm going to be co-hosting today, so I'll be monitoring the chat function as Scotty talks and presents. But just a reminder to please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. I'll have that open the whole time. I'll shoot questions Scotty's way as we have a break. But again, thank you for joining us. And without further ado, Scotty Stevens, it's all yours.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Again, my name is Scotty. I am located in the Spokane Valley branch of Adair Homes, right there on the Washington and Idaho border. Thanks for joining. Just want to explain who I am, what my role is, and then we'll dive into the reason you're here, and that's the Rainier. So my role here, they call us home ownership counselors. So that means that I'm not so much a salesperson as I am more your house building coach. So it's my privilege to get to know you, your dream for your house, and help you to identify land, research land, and figure out what it's going to cost to develop that land, as well as design and build your home. So that's a quick rundown on me. And Katie has the same role, and she's down in Cresswell, Oregon, right, Katie?
Cresswell, the big town of Cresswell, Oregon.
She's just amazing. She gets awesome reviews from all of her clients. All right, so thanks for joining again. Here's the Rainier. We're just going to start with the outside of the home first, and then I'm going to show you the original floor plan, and then I'm going to show you the plans modified, and then we will walk through the video, pausing whenever you folks have questions. So the Rainier, like most of our floor plans, comes with several different exteriors, from our pretty much what I tend to call the plain Jane, the traditions. Then there's the signature, which gives you a bigger front porch, the impressions, which changes the roof line, and then the craftsman as well, with all the cedar details and that nice fabulous front porch. And then we also have the farmhouse version, which you've probably seen all over our Facebook page for sure. All of our homes do come sided in James Hardie siding, which is that cement fiber siding that's formulated specifically for the climate that it's being used in. We have ICO architectural shingle roofs and Genweld windows with lifetime warranties. All righty, so these customers pick the craftsman. And let me show you that original floor. Whoops, that's the video. Hang on, let me drag over the original. Oops, no, the original floor plan's back here. Sorry. Also, this is my second virtual tour, folks. So hang in there while I fumble around a little bit. Okay, so here's the original floor plan with that fabulous garage and shop space coming into the mudroom. Now this mudroom is empty to start with. It's your blank canvas. I've had customers add a second washer and dryer or move the washer and dryer from upstairs to downstairs. I've had people do dog wash showers in here, cabinets, whatever. This is your canvas. You can do whatever you want in this room. And then you're coming into the kitchen with a lovely giant island, open concept to your great room. Segueing through, this is a butler's pantry. So this is a traditional pantry here. A butler's pantry that's also a blank canvas for you. I've had customers move their own furniture into that spot. I've had customers custom design cabinets for wine fridges, whatever it is, only limited by your imagination. And then into the dining room. Over here, we have a den with the wonderful French doors, and then a lovely primary suite with 2 closets, a nice water closet for the toilet, and plenty of room for your 5-piece bath to include soaker tub, stand-up shower, or just one luxurious tile shower. And then we'll pop upstairs. Upstairs has 3 more bedrooms, 2 more baths, and a bonus room. There's also the utility room up here. So washer and dryer and furnace is up here as well. And then this is your open to below for the entryway. So you have that grand entryway. You can also loft this and close this if you want to make it into a loft. Again, we are a totally custom builder. We can make all sorts of modifications to your floor plans. We have about 44 stock plans, or we can take a napkin drawing and turn it into a house for you too, just so you know. All righty, so let's look at what Eric and Sarah Clay did with their home. Not a lot of changes here. One of the main things I'll point out is they basically changed the orientation of their island from one direction to the other, and then remove some of the cabinets to make an eating bar here so they can put chairs and bar stools. They also got rid of their upper cabinets here on either side of the hood because they wanted to do open floating shelves, which they installed themselves. They did do some lower cabinets here in the butler's pantry, including space for a wine fridge that they already owned. So they just gave us the dimensions and we just created the cabinets around that. And again, our cabinets are not sitting on a shelf somewhere. They are not made until you order your home. So we can completely customize your kitchen. It is a blast. We can put in cookie sheet trays, spice racks, all that good stuff. They did do a fireplace as well, which you'll see in the video, and they opted just to do a tile shower. So there's no soaker tub in this home, just a nice tile shower. And that's about it for the structural changes. Upstairs, they left pretty basic. You will see as we're walking through the home, and I'll point out some flooring upgrades, trim upgrades. They did the 9-foot ceilings, that sort of stuff. All right, Katie, how we doing? Got any questions that we want to address?
Actually, yeah, we have 2 questions already. So you mentioned that they had deleted the upper cabinets in the kitchen and done their own open shelving. If a customer wanted our cabinet shop to do the open shelving, is that something we could do?
Yes, I believe so. Our cabinet company has been able to even built in banquette seating. So I don't see why we couldn't do shelving. I haven't done that yet, but I don't see why we couldn't. That'd be fun to work on.
Yeah, I haven't done that either, but yeah, it seems right up their alley. And then also a customer is wondering about freestanding tubs and higher end toilets. So they're saying, are there options to upgrade the standard tubs and toilets?
Sure. So a couple options there for you. We do have a bunch of drop-in soaker tubs and jetted tubs that you can choose from. Or if you are looking for that freestanding look, what we would do in that case is we're just going to rough plumb for you, and you will actually source and install your own freestanding tub. That way you can get exactly what you want. It's a good idea to work with us though, and make sure we know the dimensions, just to make sure there's plenty of space for your tub of your choosing. As far as upgraded toilets, I'd need a little more information on that. If you're talking about one of those wall-in sets, so they're not mounted on the floor, it's not something Adair's currently doing that I'm aware of. But is there any, if you have further information on that or further clarification, I'd be happy to address it.
So she actually is really quick. She says she prefers toilets where the pipes don't show and potentially a bidet.
So yes, we can do those. Yes.
Perfect. And
Absolutely.
Then we're all caught up.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this back over here so I don't lose it, so I can refer to it if we need to. And I'm just going to start the video. So we're starting off in the entry. This is the classic exterior for the Craftsman. Customer, of course, picked their own paint colors. The other thing I'm going to warn you is we did not shoot this video until they moved in. So you will see personal effects in this home, boxes of clothes and that sort of thing, because they're still in the process of moving in, but they were gracious enough to let us through. All right, so here we go. So that's the standard. It's actually a slight upgrade on the door there. They did a stain grade front door. Now we're coming in and this is the den. Now, customer did do their own painting. That is something with Adair that's currently an option where you can choose to paint the inside and or outside of your home. We're changing that model in the near future to where we'll be doing the painting, but in this home, the customer did all of their own painting. Now we're walking through the entrance. We have a coat closet on the left and then a half bath right there beyond it. Now this half bath does have a linen closet. I don't know if she's going to go all the way in there and turn around or not, but there is a linen closet right there where those 2 rocker switches are. So you can notice the flooring. The flooring is an upgraded luxury vinyl plank. They did that pretty much throughout their common floor area. We're going to zoom on over to the primary suite.
Hey, Scotty.
Yeah.
In that half bath, I'm a little behind, but in that half bath, if they didn't want the pedestal sink, could they do something with a little more storage, some kind of cabinet base?
Oh, absolutely. I have customers that do that all the time. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, here we come into the primary suite. As again, I mentioned, boxes of clothes. They did the 9-foot ceilings heights in this home, so all the windows also grow by a foot tall, so you get a lot of light in addition to the extra space. Here we're coming down the hallway. We've got the 2 closets, one on either side. And we do provide shelving in the closets, or, excuse me, shelf and pole in the closets, or you can take them blank, or we can custom design. It's whatever you want. Now, I'd like you to take a look at this flooring in here. This is actually a rolled vinyl floor, just a standard included rolled vinyl floor. She did upgrade her countertops to a quartz and the undermount sinks and the painted cabinets. And unfortunately, they left the shower curtain in front of the shower. I wish I'd been there for the video, so we don't get to see that tile shower, but it is a gorgeous tile shower. So standard lighting fixtures there on the ceiling. Standard interior 6-panel doors.
Are there other options for those doors?
Oh yeah, we have a ton. We have raised panel, recessed panel, about 11, 12, 13 different door styles to choose from.
Nice.
Ranging from about $600 to $1,400, $1,500 for the whole house.
Wow.
So here's a good picture of a standard gas fireplace. It sticks out from the wall a little bit, so we have room for the venting and the piping. You can choose to surround it with tile, cultured stone, or do something of your own later on. And here we are with the kitchen, and this is the change they made to the island so that they can put the 4 chairs there, and turned it, I guess this would be long ways versus horizontal. I don't know. They just changed it 90 degrees. They also provided their own pendant lights. That is an option with us where we can just rough in the lighting, and then you can provide your own pendant lights. And then these are the shelves that they installed themselves. So instead of having upper cabinets on either side, they chose to leave it open.
We actually have a couple of questions if you want to leave
Oh,
it.
I'd love to. Yep.
The kitchen is beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Okay, so kind of back to the primary suite.
Sure.
Morgan says, I saw on the interactive floor plan, you can have the primary suite upstairs. Can you still do 2 closets like when you have it on the ground floor in the upstairs model?
We can probably work that out. So I had one gal that enclosed that open to above, and she made that a full walk-in closet. So depending on what you're willing to give and take, absolutely, I can do that, or we can do that together. Yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned this at the beginning, but we've had a couple more people trickling in. So Caitlin is wondering how high the ceilings are in this home.
So these ceilings are 9 feet tall. The standard is 8. So these are 9, which means your windows grow by a foot in height. Your sliding glass door grows by a foot in height. And your upper wall cabinets typically grow by 6 inches. This customer chose to have them go all the way up to the ceiling as shown here on the right-hand side. So that was a little bit more of an upcharge.
Love it. And is it possible to go even taller than 9 foot upstairs and downstairs as well?
Sure. It's just largely limited by budget typically, but yeah, we can do that for you. Okay. We can also do things that are called reverse vaults, where if you've got a view and you want to capture that view with a bunch of trapezoid windows up in the vault, we can absolutely do that too, which is really fun to combine with a 9 or a 10-foot ceiling.
Very nice. And then Dee is wondering, Dee's come in with the good questions today. She is wondering if it's possible to put a drain in the mudroom floor.
Yes, it is.
Great question. Okay, and we're caught up for now.
Okay, great. Well, let's continue to let the kitchen reveal itself. So we do not supply the refrigerator or the washer and dryer, but the other appliances, the 2 wall ovens, the cooktop, and the hood, we did supply. So she mixed her cabinet colors, which is no big deal. You can do however you want it. All lowers the same, or wall cabinets the same, the island different. You can do your bathroom vanities, different colors. We're very what I call a la carte. We don't pigeonhole you into anything. Here we are coming into the butler's pantry, and that's that space right there that they had a wine fridge they wanted us to make for them, the space for it, that is. And then the pantry is on the left, which I don't think she dives in there, but there is the walk-in pantry. And then the dining room.
Nice big dining room, even with that huge table in there.
Yeah, and I'm going to pause right here. So I get a lot of questions about window trim. So our basic plan includes just drywall wrapped windows as shown here. So your choices are to leave it as is, or you can do what's called a window sill, which is just the bottom standard window sill, or you can fully wrap the windows in 3 different types of siding, or excuse me, not siding, trim. So we have colonial, craftsman, and architectural. But this is what it looks like without any window trim at all.
And Scotty, what about those grids? Is that standard?
It is on the Craftsman plan. So the Craftsman plan comes with gridded windows on the front elevation of the home, but we can also add them to any window that you want to, or any series of windows. So you can see that's an example of the Craftsman trim right here around the floors, excuse me, around the doors. And now we're heading upstairs. Now our standard stair rail is this half wall. We're of course not limited to that. We can do wood railings, we can do metal railings. Kind of depends on the look and the budget.
Are there any options for decorative trim or wainscoting or crown molding?
Yes, absolutely. Any of those. Again, only limited by your imagination. So, and what you want in your budget. So we can absolutely incorporate all those things in. Maybe 1 or 2 things like the wainscoting maybe makes sense for you to do later. Maybe it makes sense for us to do it. So those are conversations we can have. This is the bonus room. They added in the can lighting. Adair's a little stingy, I'm going to warn you, when it comes to can lights. So work with your homeownership counselor to decide the best lighting choices for you. So that's a bathroom there on the left and a bedroom there on the right. Now these are the kids' rooms, so they didn't show us the kids' rooms just due to privacy concerns. Now she's going to kind of take us over the railing. So if you're afraid of heights, close your eyes. All right, and this home comes with a side garage. Again, if your site conditions need to, we can move that to a front garage as well. So we're, again, very customizable depending on your land. And this is a view from the back side. All righty. So that's about it as far as the tour of the home. I know your time is valuable. Do we have any other questions, Katie?
So many.
Oh, good.
So many. I've been saving for the end. So
okay.
Some questions about site prep and how to go about site prep and how to initiate a site visit, and even more specifically, what size pad is needed for this house.
Excellent questions. Okay. So in order to do a site visit with Adair, where we bring our construction super out and maybe our favorite excavator, if you don't have an excavator that you want to work with, typically what you do first is sit down with one of us. And what we're going to do is just run through our program to see if we're a good fit, to include pricing, steps in the process, timelines, all that. If you think we're a good fit for you and you want to move forward, then we would just need a pre-approval letter from your lender and or proof of cash funds if you're fortunate enough to be a cash client. And then we would arrange a site visit. At that site visit, one of our construction supers is going to meet you out there, and usually your homeownership counselor will come too. And that's just to see if the land is buildable. Make sure we don't see any logistical challenges either getting there or any logistical challenges with the site. And then also we'll talk about what it's going to take to get the site ready to build. Do you need a well? Do you need a septic? Okay, what does that look like? Where are those going to go? Where's your power coming from? Do you have power? All those kind of things. So if you don't know anything about the land yet, that's okay. We're here. We know you haven't done this before. So we're going to coach and guide you every step of the way. Your homeownership counselor is going to help you research the costs involved with excavation, wells, septic, power, all of that stuff. The pad for this size home, so it's 72 feet wide and roughly 40 feet deep. And so if you want a pad for that, you typically want to clear it out 3 feet bigger on each and every side. So instead of 72, you'd be looking at what, 72 plus 6 is 78. So roughly 80 by 46 would be a good bet for a site big enough to build this home.
Perfect. And then Donald was actually asking about that, the pad size. He says he has 4 acres with multiple build areas. Is it possible to move that garage door to a front facing if necessary?
Oh, absolutely. Done it all the time. It's very affordable to do so as well. Absolutely. And then typically what we do is we take the windows and put them on the side, or you can delete the windows, whatever works for you.
Okay, perfect. And then customers are wondering about how to go about financing. Do they need to pay for the property with cash? How much cash do they plan to have up front?
So that's going to vary a little bit. Typically, most lenders that we work with will lend up to 95% of the appraised value. So if you own land that you bought and let's say you don't have a mortgage, best case scenario, you will need zero down to get your construction loan, minus any maybe out-of-pocket closing costs that you don't want to finance. But there'll be no required down payment due to loan to value reasons. Let's say you bought the land a couple of years ago and you put $20,000, $30,000 down. The land's appreciated over those 2 or 3 years. Likely, again, you probably won't need a down payment. Where you would run into needing a down payment is if you're looking to do a land, site development, and construction loan package all together. And then you'd be looking somewhere around 5, maybe even 10% down, just depending on that appraised value. Again, working with your homeownership counselor on those numbers will be really helpful. And also sometimes there's area specifics where appraisals sometimes don't turn out the best, and they can prepare you for that ahead of time if that does happen.
Perfect. And then back to the inside of the house and upgrade options. I'm kind of excited. There's some questions from Jason and Sarah that I've never got before. So we'll see.
Great.
This will be a test, Scotty. Can we do a gray water recovery system? Or can we plumb one in?
So I want a little more information on that. So gray water coming from the house, and you want to use it again for landscaping?
We'll give him a minute to.
Okay, that would be an option. Again, it's also going to boil down to your local building codes and what they will let you do. So something like that, if you're going to do it above bar, so to speak, above the table, then you'd really want to work with your local jurisdiction and just let us know what the requirements are. So we can do solar ready, we can do any sort of, off-grid setup that you want to do. We just need to make sure we're following the local codes or setting you up for success to do it later after you move in.
They just confirmed you're exactly right with that landscaping.
Okay, so
option.
Probably we just need to make sure we're following local codes, and then yes, we'd work with you to figure out, okay, what components do you need inside the home to make that happen, and just work through it together. Absolutely. Great question, by the way. I love it.
Right? First time. Okay. And then also, are there options for wood fire or dual fuel fireplaces?
Yes. Yep. We can do just about any fireplace you want, whether it's freestanding, built-in, wood, gas, electric, pellet. Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. Okay. Morgan is asking if we can do vaulted ceilings.
So of course, on a 1-story home, you can do vaulted ceilings. A little hard on this home to do a vaulted ceiling unless you did it just in the master, primary bedroom, primary suite. Gosh, I did good till that one right there. So, when you have a second floor above you, you can't vault the ceilings. But if you're just in a 1-story home, heck yeah, we can vault the great room, kitchen, living, all that jazz.
Perfect. And then D is wondering if there are options for pot fillers.
Yes, we can rough them in or do the whole thing.
Perfect. And then Scotty, when is it too soon for customers to talk to you? Do they have to have land or funding first? What's kind of
what a great question. I love this question. It's never too soon. I actually just met with some clients the other day that are 4 years out from building. They do have their land, but due to retirement and things like that, they're just not ready yet, but they want to start planning. So we were talking about site development and what they can work on in the meantime. What they can do to best prepare themselves to be ready for financing and getting that construction loan. And of course, if they're retiring, you need to make sure that construction loan is done before they retire, so there aren't any oopsies at the end. Oh, you're not working anymore. So yeah, it's never too early to come meet with us. We understand this is a long process and a lot goes into it.
Plus, it's kind of fun to plan for these things, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then we've got one more. Are there options for, a couple more, central vac options?
That is going to be area dependent or area specific, but yes, typically we can make that work. There might be 1 or 2 areas where that doesn't work with Adair, but overall we can make that work usually.
Okay, and then Jessica, I love this question. Jessica is saying, can Adair help find land, or is that something they're totally on their own for?
Well, you're not totally on your own. No, so us homeownership counselors, we're not licensed realtors. I want to be very clear about that. So what we usually do, we vet out local realtors that specialize in land. So if you're working with me and you're looking in the Coeur d'Alene area, I'm going to send you to a specific realtor that I love or trust over there. Same thing with Spokane area. So again, we're not going to necessarily help you find the land, but we'll connect you with a specialist to help you, a trusted partner. And then as soon as you identify the land, that's where we can get involved. And okay, let's find out about wells. Let's find out about septics. Where's power? Start helping you figure out if this is a good piece of land, or if it's too steep and we don't recommend you build on it, those sort of things. But no, we actually can't hit the street and we don't have access to the MLS and that sort of thing.
So many great questions trickling in here.
Great.
Can we add a basement to this plan, or are there only certain plans that we can add a basement to or can't add basements to?
Yeah, so we can add a basement to any plan. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, we have suggested layouts, but we also don't have to follow those layouts. It's your home. So on a home this size where the first floor is, what is the first floor? 2,000 square feet. You don't necessarily need to do a 2,000 square foot basement. You could maybe just do 1,000 square feet. It depends a little bit on your needs, your budget, and the lay of the land, what makes the most amount of sense.
Scotty, does your branch, are you able to do full basements?
Yes.
So we, over where I'm at, we only do daylight basements or walkout basements. So I guess that would be a branch to branch kind of conversation.
So those are great conversations to have, again, with your home ownership counselor on, because it's just a little different for each area. But typically we can accommodate a basement of some sort for you. Yes.
Okay. And then we have, what if you don't want the standard heat pump and furnace? What if you want to go ductless?
Yes, that works. We can do that. And in some homes, you're going to get a credit for that.
Beautiful. Even better.
I know, right?
And how about, what are standard countertops specifically for the kitchen?
Yeah, absolutely. So I tend to call our homes the base price as being very much a starter home. All right. So in the kitchen, you're going to have Formica countertops and 2 rows of subway tile for your backsplash. From there, you can upgrade as little or as much as you want. We can do quartz, we can do granite, we can source butcher block if you want. In most areas, I should say, probably on the butcher block. But yeah, Formica countertops is what's standard. Beautiful.
And then I know you have an add-on studio option, but can it be built freestanding as a small cottage?
So yes, as long as you're also building another house with us. So that freestanding, we don't have a lot of imagination. We call it the 512 suite because it's 512 square feet. That starts most areas, at least in our area, that starts right about 70,000. We actually have a minimum call to action of about $150,000. So I can't just build you one of those all by itself. You'd have to have a house too. But if you want to build them separately, heck yeah, let's do it. And if you're interested in that 512 suite, stay tuned to our virtual tours because I'll be doing the Willamette that has a 512 suite attached to it here probably in a couple weeks.
Very nice plug. I like it.
Yeah, well, shameless.
Okay, so we have, this is kind of a loaded question. So do you generally recommend doing unfinished basements? What is the finished per square foot cost versus unfinished?
All right. So my role here is not really to boss you around. My role is to help you figure out what your needs are the best. So I'm never going to tell you unfinished or finished. Those are things I will ask you questions about what's more important to you and let you make that decision. The cost difference, though, is probably from unfinished to finished is going to run you anywhere from $40 to probably $70 a square foot to go from an unfinished to a finished. Now, I'd throw out dollar amounts, but again, I don't know where you all are joining from. You could be all over the place. But if you want local pricing for that, please contact your local office and they can work with you on the pricing for that.
Okay, got questions still trickling in. John is asking if you wouldn't mind playing the video again in the background while we go through the questions.
Oh, great. Sorry, guys. Absolutely. Happy to do that. Great suggestion, John.
And then I just wanted to say, I've had a couple of people have raised their hand, which I don't totally know what to do with that, but I am watching the Q&A function. So please, by all means, throw your questions in here. We love the questions. So we have Kira. Do you know the cost of this particular home with the upgrades that they chose?
Sure. Let's see here. So the kind of the neat thing about Adair is you pay for a home. These folks paid for a home in 2020 dollars that they got delivered in 2021. So their dollar amounts are going to be different. They now have all that equity and appreciation just in that last year. But what I can do is plug in here into our local pricing for this home now. And just bear with me a little bit while I click some buttons. So the Rainier in the Spokane branch, now this is not Idaho pricing, this is Washington pricing, but they're very similar. That Craftsman starts at $415. And then for in today's dollars, for the fireplace, the counters that they did, the floor coverings they did, they would have spent about $80,000 to $100,000 in upgrades. Again, the 9-foot ceiling, tile shower, fireplace, floor coverings. It does add up pretty quick. So in today's dollars, you'd be spending for this home roughly around 515-ish until you and I dive in a little deeper.
Correct. And you hinted at this already, but branch to branch, state to state, prices are different. So absolutely check in with your HOC and get some numbers.
Yeah, our website has current pricing for the base price of the home. So you just up in the upper right-hand corner, you can choose your area. It'll actually say, like right now, mine says Inland Northwest. But if I click on it, I can change my build area, and you can look all over the areas we build and see the different pricing.
All right, I love this question from Kira. How is Adair keeping up with supply delays? Have you been affected by delays?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that no, there's been no effect whatsoever. Like every builder out there, even if you just walk into a store to try to buy a TV or refrigerator, you're going to see things take a little longer. So what we're doing to combat that is bring on additional suppliers. There was a nationwide shortage on garage doors, so we switched suppliers so we could keep up with the inventory. Currently, countertops are being a little slow, so we're actively onboarding a second or third countertop supplier. Like every builder, like everybody, we are hitting some bumps in the road. We just work with you best we can to keep you updated on any of those bumps and offer solutions, alternatives, that sort of thing. But I would say 95% of we've not had problems with 95% of our supply chain. We actually own our own building supply warehouse, so we buy direct from James Hardie, Gen Weld, the local lumber companies that we use, and we're very, very big, so we're first in line, which is really helpful. I feel bad for the small mom and pop builders out there trying to get supplies right now, because they're probably getting kind of pushed aside a little bit. But due to our size and our buying power, we've had very little disruptions. But if you choose to build right now, I would expect a few little bumps in the road, but we're going to guide you through it best we can.
I was just noticing that this house it looked like there was a rough-in for a pot filler in this house. So
yeah, let's go back and look.
Yeah, somehow we missed that the first go around, but it kind of blends in right
there.
there.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's.
Okay, so Kira again is wondering, gosh, Kira's got the good questions today. So
love it.
Does the standard pricing, like what you see online, include the travel time for builders and subcontractors?
It includes 30 miles from wherever the office is located. From there, you're going to start incurring mileage fees based on how far away and the size of the home. Again, a good reason to come sit down with us. That's what we cover in that very first meeting is, okay, here's where you want to build. Here's what it's going to cost for the upgrades you want. Are we still talking? If so, great. Let's talk about steps in the process and so on and so forth.
Okay. Where could a second washer and dryer be placed on the main floor?
Absolutely. So I'm going to pause this real quick and try to get rid of this black bar that's in my way. Can I move it? Oh, look at that. I can move it. Awesome. Okay. So Rainier. So they're typically upstairs, or that's what comes standard. If we travel downstairs into this mudroom, that is one spot that I've seen people put them. I've also seen people forego this walk-in closet and put a washer and dryer in there. So it's not so much where can it go, it's where do you want it to go. And yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. And then we have.
Yep, there's the pot filler. Ta-da!
That's official. Oh, I accidentally just clicked finish on a question I hadn't asked you yet. Okay. Do you have options for barn doors, or could we or would we have to bring those ourselves?
So yeah, typically that's going to be a home owner to do upon move-in. We will set you up for success though. You can leave a door finished like this, or if you want wood trim to hang the barn door from, we can accommodate that. since there's so many different barn doors out there, it's kind of like pendant lights. I usually have my customers choose their own, unless you don't want to. If you don't want to, then yeah, I'm your huckleberry. I'll help you with it.
Perfect. And then what's the standard flooring throughout the house? So this one has upgraded floors, but what comes with it?
Yeah, so standard flooring is rolled vinyl anywhere that there's water. So like I showed earlier in this primary suite bathroom, they have rolled vinyl in there. Tons of different colors and patterns to choose from stone looks to tile looks to whimsical looks to wood looks. So rolled vinyl anywhere there's water, and then carpet everywhere else. So stairs like you see here, bedrooms, walkways, great room, that sort of thing. So again, kind of a basic starter home is where we start. We wanted to make our homes as affordable to as many people as possible. So that's why we start pretty basic.
And then what if somebody wanted to add a prep sink to their island or their butler's pantry?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we can do that. A couple different options for that. So top mount, under mount, small, medium, large, whatever works for you.
Okay. And then I think we've got to the bottom of it.
Awesome. Great. Well, very engaging audience. Thank you folks for your time. I really appreciate the questions, and I hope to see you at another open house in the future.
Great presentation. This is a beautiful house.
Thank you. They were just a lovely couple to work with. All right, y'all, have a great day.